tremendous effort. Drexel's a very good team. They caused a lot of problems for us, and I give them credit. They fought to the very end, and I'm just really proud of our ladies. They just refused to give in and made just enough plays down the stretch to win the game, and we survived, and that means we get 2 wins.
How important is it that you get to host Florida on Sunday?
Well, that's huge. This atmosphere is an amazing place to play a game in. I'm glad they rewarded that, and I know that our crowd made a huge difference tonight. I imagine that's a tough. They were so loud. There was a point in one of the timeouts where the assistants got together with me, and I just said, "Wow, it's loud in here." Even before we went over whatever adjustments or whatever set we were going to run next, they were into the game. It had to make a significant difference, and really this game came down to a couple plays, and I know they helped us with a couple plays for sure.
As far as the matchup with Florida, we talked briefly about the other day, but just your thoughts on this Florida team and how your team's playing in this matchup on Sunday.
Well, I think Coach Butler of Florida really got our team to play well down the stretch. If you look at the games at the end of the year, they beat Georgia, they beat Arkansas, they beat Vanderbilt, they went into the SEC tournament and played Tennessee very, very tough. They're playing their best ball at the end of the year. They've got to be, and obviously they must have won tonight if we're playing them, so they got to be playing with a high level of confidence. And I saw them play in those last couple games that were on TV, and I thought they played exceptionally well. They're really fast, they're really big. They definitely have a great team, and it's going to take just a great deal of execution to play with them.
When you look at the opportunity you guys now have in front of you to go further than you've been before in this tournament, to do it on your home court against a team like Florida with that name being so big in this state, what does that mean to have that opportunity now?
Well, it's great. These are the things that you practice all season. You get opportunities like this. We realize how fortunate we are. The majority of teams are done with their season right now. They don't get an opportunity to play in front of the fans that we have. They don't get to play in some of the big games we get to. And we try to make the most of it by just giving the best effort and play as a team and give ourselves the best opportunity.
Carl, what was the difference tonight? The stats are pretty even. The free throw line, you have an advantage there. They kind of won the battle of the paint tonight. But what was the difference, do you think, in this thing, besides making the plays down the stretch for us?
Well, I really don't know. We shot the ball well. One of the things, I thought their offense was better than our defense in the first half. And I thought our defense played much better in the second half. And, Nicoya had a really good game offensively and created some things, but I thought her defense on, I won't pronounce her last name, but her defense on 23, that kid's a great player. She's physical with her without fouling. Didn't give her any open looks. I thought defensively her effort made a huge difference. So, everybody on the team had a chance to step up. Kelsey hit some big threes for us when we were behind, and even late in the game hit some big threes. Chiho just battled, and you can look see how many rebounds and how many plays she made. Murphy hit free throws down the stretch. He had some big drives for us, and it just seemed like everybody had their spot in the game where they had to step up, and they did it for us.
Coach, these two, were in foul trouble down the stretch. Did you ever consider benching them a little bit more, or?
Well, we're not a typical team when it comes to foul trouble. It's just never been my personal philosophy. I'll let a kid foul out. I don't want to foul them out by sitting them on the bench and having them on there too long. Now, I'll take a kid out with fouls, let them rest up a little bit so that it's not fatigue that gets the next foul. And so they understand the situation that, hey, you got 4 fouls, you got 3 fouls, you got to be smart. But I'll put them back in the game. Fouling out's not the worst thing that ever happened to somebody. I want them to get as many minutes as they can play. And the only way to do that is put them back in.
Sure. Question for you guys. Did you play differently when you have 4 fouls? Is that something you're thinking about a lot? Or?
I would say a little bit. You don't want to pick up that 5th foul because you want to stay in the game. So, I don't want to say that you don't hustle as much, but you definitely protect yourself from getting the 5th foul.
Nicoya, you've made a habit of coming in late and making immediate impacts, some pretty big ones. You like coming off the bench? Is there just something about that? Do you feel like you need to make an impact as soon as you get in there, or is it just sort of playing out that way?
It really, well, I really haven't came off the bench a lot in my previous career here, so I'm not going to say it wasn't an adjustment, but I kind of adjusted to it, and I kind of like coming off the bench because I kind of get to see how the team is playing us, and get to see how they're attacking us, and I get to bring whatever the first starters are needing, just to get that new stuff. So I just kind of pay attention to the game and just go out there and give us what we do.
Kelsey, your overall thoughts on tonight? Obviously, the first half is very tough. You guys were down by a few. Like Carl said, you were having a really hard time stopping them. Then you kind of keyed the surge late in the first half, and then there was a big surge midway through the second half. But your overall thoughts on how this played out?
I think we just came up with a lot of energy as a team. We really wanted to win this game. We put our hearts on the line. Down the stretch, we made plays. Everybody as a team just really dug deep, and we got the game winner, or got the win in the game. So that was, just to win in front of a crowd like that is amazing. So. And
your thoughts on the matchup with Florida on Sunday night?
Honestly, I don't really know too much about Florida. We take one game at a time. But it's exciting. It's an in-state game. Everybody's probably been a Gator fan if they're from Florida at one point in their life. Or I'm not really sure how Florida fans work, but I know it's going to be a big game, so I'm excited.
You were here during the WNIT game 3 years ago, right?
No,
that was right after, before you. My bad. Yeah, my bad. Okay.
What's it mean to both of you to advance, to get this win? Obviously, you've been there before, but in this tournament, but to get this win in advance and keep your season going and have this chance before you, what does it mean to both of you?
it's exciting. We don't want it to end. We're looking at the next game. We're going to win the next game too, and then keep advancing. That's our goal. We're not going to stop with one win. We're going to keep going.
Especially since it's a home game, we want to defend the net. We made it a goal that we're not going to be the team to mess up that streak, so we're definitely trying to protect that.